Guys, never thought I'd be doing a live video on this. I just saw a status by someone I know very well, and he was talking about rape victims, and he was saying that why don't rape victims get justice for themselves? Or why don't rape victims tell people what they went through? Well, let me tell you what, I didn't. I was 14 years old when my mom went to prison. 14 years old. I was supposed to go visit my aunt and uncle from the summer, and I was supposed to come back. I left out to Colorado June 8th of 2010. June 18th, I was in a rollover car accident so bad that I couldn't walk. I had broke 3 floating ribs in my back. And that's when it all started. My aunt couldn't walk. She had sliced her legs open after the impact. She flew out of the car. And she had gone back to the hospital about a week and a half after. And my uncle asked my aunt if he could take me to Chicago because weed is legal out there, and he grew pot for himself. He was very sick. And she asked why he didn't want to take any of the kids, but he wanted to take me. That was when it all began. We drove out to Denver that first night, and I remember the whole entire ride. He was telling me that even as his niece, he had seen the clothes I wore, and he would always say that he liked my body better than my aunt's, and that he loved the shorts I wore because they were shorts. I was 14. The whole entire drive, I remember just thinking to myself, I've never had a dad. So, is this what dads do? Is this what father figures say to you? Is this normal? Is this right? I didn't know. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel okay. But I went on with it. I was scared, and I didn't want to say anything. I had a 2-hour drive, so I just let it be what it was. We drove all the way to Denver, and for the 2 hours that I was in the car, I heard him continuously tell me about how he wanted to touch me and how he wanted to violate me. Now, the status that I just seen says you rape victims probably liked it, and that's why you never said anything. Well, screw you. Screw you, Drake. Because I didn't like that. I wasn't even being touched at this point. I was just being told that somebody wanted to violate me at 14 years old. 14 years old, and you think I liked that? Well, let's continue. So, as the story keeps going on, I was continuously molested by my uncle. As I slept in the same bed as my cousin, as I was in the same house as 3 of my cousins and my aunt, and nobody knew what was going on. I was scared and I was terrified. I was scared that I was going to destroy a family because of what was happening to me. That is not okay. Rape victims do not enjoy it, and I don't know about all, but I know what I went through, and I did not enjoy that. I was terrified. I was humiliated. I lost the one thing that I had, the one thing that made me dream, the one bit of happiness that I had, my innocence, my everything gone because of my uncle. My uncle, somebody that I trusted. I'm sorry, I can't even keep the camera straight. I am shaking. I am angry to see that somebody said that a rape victim would enjoy this, to say that we don't want justice for ourselves. I wanted justice. I had cried to my friends, Candy, Jalen, Claudia. I mean, there were so many people that I cried to and told about this. I had contacted my old choir teacher, Miss Callahan. I had done everything I thought I could do to make me feel safe, and nothing made me feel safe. He would take me on car rides because he knew I was wanting to get my license. And he would say, well, I need to go get some Coke and some cigarettes, so we need to go to the gas station. And when we'd go to the gas station, I was never safe. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to jump out of a moving car, and I wanted to walk home and just let somebody pick me up and take me and kill me. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to scream at him, "You're a child molester." I can't tell you how many times. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to kill myself because I knew it was my fault for wearing short shorts or for revealing tank top. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to take my own life just like my father did because it would have been the easy way out. But I didn't. My aunt would constantly tell me, God, you look so unhappy. You don't even look or act the same that you did when you first came here. I would always smile and I was always so happy. And she would be like, you're so weird, you know, you wear sweatpants and sweatshirts and socks throughout the house and it's summer. She would say, you don't even look comfortable. Why are you wearing all these clothes? Why are you so covered up? And I was terrified to take off my sweatshirt in my own house in Pueblo, Colorado, the armpit of Colorado, where it's either really hot or really cold. I was terrified of my own house. I was terrified to walk alone in my own house. This is a little graphic. I was scared to change my tampon in my house because I was scared he would see that and get turned on. This was something the real life victims face. And this is something I went through in my own home. So for you, Drake, to say, to be protected when you leave the house, so what do we do when we are in our house? How do we stay protected in our house? How do we stay protected from being raped in our own home? In front of our cousins on the same bed that we sleep in with our cousins? How do we do that? Because you seem to have all the answers and I don't. For all of my friends in Colorado that knew what I went through, I want to thank you so much. Elisa, Aaliyah, Kendra, Candy, Claudia, Jalen, every one of you were the reason why I am still here today. You guys had got me through so many terrible things. You guys were the people that talked to me. And Candy, I remember every day you telling me, speak up, Dreama, speak up. Candy, you always told me to speak up and I never did. And you knew why. You knew how terrified I was of him. But thank you. Thank you for never criticizing me and dehumanizing me. For not being able to look at this man and tell him that if he continued to rape me, I would go to the police. Because this man had attempted murder and attempted kidnapping and battery charges and so many other things. This man was a monster. He was more than a monster. He was somebody who should not be alive. I wish he was dead every single day of my life. I wish somebody would do to him exactly what he did to me. I wish somebody would do it 10 times worse, but that is because I am angry. I am so angry right now. Not because of this. I'm literally shaking. I can't even keep this camera still. I don't even know how to feel right now. To see somebody say, did you not report it because you liked it? Did you secretly have feelings for this person? Screw you. This was my uncle. The one uncle who I had went to about my dad, who would talk to me about my dad. I have lost trust for so many men in my life because of being raped by my uncle. I can't even have a serious relationship with people because I am scared to be hurt. I am scared to tell people the truth about what I have been through. This makes me so angry. This makes me livid. This makes me terrified. And when I became pregnant with a girl, I didn't want my child because I was terrified for my child that nobody would see the signs like nobody's seen them with me. That nobody would see the pain in my daughter's eyes like nobody's seen in mine. Like everybody would think that my daughter was just angry just like they thought I was. Rape victims don't ask to be raped. Rape victims don't ask to go what they go through. Their clothes should not ever be a validation or a reason why you are raped. And if you were ever raped, God, I am so sorry for you. And I can never say you didn't deserve it enough. Drake, I will never accept your apology. Your apology means as much to me as the man who raped me for 1.5 years in his daughter's bed. Your apology means as much to me as his daughter's apology when she told me that I lied about it and that I wanted it. Because every day that it happened to me, I looked at my cousin and I thought of her as my best friend. And I said, God, if I don't protect myself, I'm going to protect her. Because I don't want her to grow up without a father like I did. I have never, in my 20 years, thought I would ever be this angry. And I am so angry. I am mortified. I am humiliated. Yes, I am humiliated. Because when I thought that the day came that I shared my story with people, I never thought it would be like this. I always thought that when I shared my story with kids, it would be in a school or a setting where I was really, really comfortable with wanting to share my story. This right here is not something I ever thought I would do. But now you guys all know my story. I was raped by my uncle in the same bed that my cousin slept in every night. I didn't have school on Fridays when my cousins did. My aunt was a tutor. She's a college student. She's amazing. Nobody was home. I watched gang members go in and out of this house with drugs, with so many things. I was terrified. I was scared for my life. I was scared for my cousins. I was scared for my girl cousin, because if he could do this to his niece, did he do this to his daughter? If he did this to me, did he do this to his other nieces? I was not even allowed to spend the night where there was boys home. So Candy, Kendra, all my other friends that had brothers. That's why I never got to spend the night. Because you guys had brothers. I remember my great-grandma. She saw us at Walmart one night. My Mama Lupita. And she looked at me and she said, Drema, do you have a boyfriend yet? And I said, no, but I remember there was this one guy that I really, really liked at school. And she goes, girl, when I was 14, I was already married. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, well, at 14, I'm being raped. At 14, I'm scared I'm going to get pregnant by my uncle because I don't have birth control. And how do you tell? How do you say that? My aunt looked at her and said, well, my husband won't allow her to have a boyfriend. And I said, yeah, that's because he thinks he is my boyfriend. He thinks that I'm his property. And he tells me every day. I was terrified of this man. I was so terrified of this man. If anyone thinks that I did not want justice for what happened to me, screw you. Screw you. Because I live with it every day. And I am terrified for my daughter. When she goes to daycare, when she goes anywhere that I'm not, I'm terrified. I'm so terrified for her. And I have never imagined in my whole entire life that I would see somebody say that the reason we didn't report it was because we enjoyed it. If I could fight off a 350-pound man at 125 pounds, you don't think I would have? You don't think that I would have done everything in my power to fight off this man who was raping me? You're wrong. He bought me a purity ring and made me wear it to humiliate me. To humiliate me. Because I was his property. Because he knew I wanted a purity ring. I remember my sister and her boyfriend showing up for my birthday. And I just cried. Because I wanted to leave with them. But I was scared. I was so scared that if I did, what would happen to my cousin? What would happen to me? People, I need to ask you to stop calling me strong because I'm not. I am as weak as anyone else out here. It doesn't make me strong because I'm sharing my story. It makes me angry. I am not angry. I am not okay. I am not. I'm just surviving, guys. People all the time ask me if I'm okay, and I say, well, I'm here. I'm here. That's all I can say is I'm here. I'm fighting to be a mother. I'm fighting to be a survivor. I'm fighting. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my daughters. I'm fighting for every girl who was told that she enjoyed it. I was working at a suicide hotline, trying to save other people's lives so that I could save my own. I remember talking to my friend Jalen in the middle of my science class, and my science teacher, Mr. Moore, had apparently overheard me telling him that I was getting raped. When they pulled me into the guidance counsel's office, he said, well, you know nobody's going to believe you, right? And I used to talk to my best friend Gabby every night. And she was going through some things in her life at the time, and I would just tell her, Gabby, you know, I'm so scared. I would have to get off the phone as soon as he would walk in the house. And I would just cry because I'd have to get off the phone with her. And I remember when my guidance counselor pulled me into the office, he said, well, no one's going to believe you. And I said, well, it's not happening to me. I said, it's happening to my friend Gabby. I said, I was just talking about it because I was so scared that, you know, she was going through it because I knew nobody would believe me. He told me nobody would believe me. So why say it was happening to me? All of my friends were my saving grace. All of them. Every single one of you guys. The friendships that I had and made that year are people that I will never forget. And I will never stop saying thank you for being there for me in my trials and tribulations of being molested by my uncle, being raped by my uncle, being groped by my uncle. I will never say thank you enough. And I can never explain the gratitude I have for all of you for helping me get through that. That was 1.5 years of hell. You don't know what hell on earth is? That's hell on earth. That's hell at home. That's hell in your bedroom. It's hell in your bathroom. That's hell in your car. That's hell. That's learning how to trust somebody and finding out that they are sick. That they are so sick because they find a 14-year-old sexually appealing. I remember he would, when he would tell me to go to the gas station with him, he would say, oh, I'm going to wake your auntie up and think about you. That's sick. That is despicable. That is disgusting. And no, I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't okay. It wasn't gratifying. It wasn't satisfying. It wasn't pleasing. It was torture. It was torture. It was torture to wake up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning to him rubbing my legs. And it was only the beginning. It was torture. I'm a rape victim. And I was raped by my uncle for 1.5 years. And I didn't have anyone to protect me. Or so I thought. I was scared. I was so scared. And I couldn't defend myself, unfortunately. But then again, who could? The same counselor that told me no one would believe me. The same uncle who told me it would only get worse. Who was going to protect me? The same Marine telling everybody that rape victims like it, that that we didn't want justice for ourselves. Who's going to protect me? You talk about all these men out here that are so strong, and why aren't we fighting for these women? Because it's people like you, Drake, who dehumanize us rape victims, who make us not want to tell our story. going to my grandma's house afterwards, she didn't even believe me. She didn't even believe me until I told her, you really want the whole story? Grab a whole notebook. Because you're going to need a lot of time to write down every single story that I tell you. If you think any of you 15 people that are watching don't know a rape victim, they just don't trust you enough with their story. Do you see why? It's terrible. To be a part of a statistic and to be a part of one that's in your own home. To be told that everything's okay and nothing's okay. It's sick. To my friends who kept in contact with me, to my friends who were there for me, you guys are my saving grace. Even if we are friends or aren't friends, you guys were my saving grace. You guys helped me get through a lot. It was a terrible thing. Don't ever, ever dehumanize a rape victim. Because even if they enjoyed it because of what's inside their vagina. The clit, unfortunately. When you rub it, it fills. You didn't enjoy it mentally. You enjoyed it because it was stimulating you. I am so sorry that anyone would make you feel worse about yourself because you were raped, because you wore a certain item of clothing, because you talk a certain way, because you walk a certain way, because you think a certain way. It is never okay. And I'm so sorry that anyone would make you feel like it is. That anyone would belittle you or dehumanize you to make you think or make you feel that what you went through was even a slightest bit of okay. Because it's not okay. And I know that I'm not the only rape victim that's not okay. 6 years after my rape, I know you're not okay. I know that I'm not okay. I know that for some people it takes a lifetime to heal from this, and some people never heal. Why? Because people always have to put their 2 cents in. Nobody wants to hear the story of a rape victim. Nobody wants to hear the story of somebody who was touched by their uncle. Nobody wants to hear the story of a 14-year-old girl getting raped in her cousin's bed. Nobody wants to hear it. Hell, I don't want to hear it. Hell, I don't want to say it. But I was. For a year and a half. And there was nothing I could do about it. Because when I finally did tell, I got kicked out. My aunt went on to divorce him. And then he went on to beat her. To the point where my own cousin felt uncomfortable around him. And it wasn't until a couple months ago that she turned on me and said that I lied about it. And that I asked for it. And that I wanted to be raped by her father. And the only thing I could say to her was, but you were the one that told. She was the one who told. I protected her family for a year. And 6 years later, I get the back brunt. Nobody knew what I went through. Because I'm good at keeping secrets. I'm good at protecting other people. I'm good at keeping my feelings a secret. I'm good at hiding the scariest part of myself, the vulnerability of myself. Because I was vulnerable enough to talk to my uncle about my father, about things that I was going through in school. And it only led to him touching me and raping me worse. Nobody will ever understand. No rape victim understands another rape victim's story. Every rape victim is different. Every story is different. Every person is different. Every emotion is different. But it's terrible. Each of us have all experienced hell. Whether it was in our home or not. Whether it was at a party or in a car. Wherever it was. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you less of a person because you were at a party when you were raped or when you were at home. It doesn't matter. Not to me. You're a rape victim. You're a victim. But you're a survivor. I am so sorry for anyone who has been raped. For anyone who has felt like they weren't good enough. For all the teens who have committed suicide because of it. For everyone. Everyone. I feel sorry for you if you don't understand. I feel sorry for you if you do. But I forgive him. I forgive him for what he did to me because he was sick. I forgive him because it wasn't my fault. I forgive him because I had to let go. I forgive him because if I don't, I'm going to ruin my daughter's life. I'm going to be so scared that she's never going to walk out of this house. I won't let her. I have to forgive him. I have to be conscious and I have to be aware. I have to forgive the man who raped me. You'll never understand how hard that is. You'll never understand how hard it is to forgive your own family. For not knowing. For knowing and then not doing anything about it. And if you understand, then I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everyone. I'm sorry you guys had to watch this. I'm sorry I'm angry. I'm sorry.